So, understandably, the title of this video, which I don't know for sure what I'm going to call it right now, it's going to be something around the effect of the LA Lakers are have a better chance to make the finals next year. I'm probably going to say something like the LA Lakers are going back to the finals next year just to get views, but here's my plan. If I'm Rob Pelinka, which I'm not going to say I'm smarter and I would be a better NBA GM than Rob Pelinka, but I don't think he's made many moves as GM of the Lakers to say that he would be a guaranteed better GM than me. Here's the thing about the Lakers roster right now. Anthony Davis, let's just start with Anthony Davis. He's got a he's pretty tradable. $37 million a year next year, $40 million in 2023. Yeah, it's a lot of money. You could trade for that, though, in the NBA. Especially if you're the Chicago Bulls and you're a team that isn't really going to be able to pay Zach LaVine the money that he deserves to get next year. It's really possible that there's a sign and trade with Zach LaVine and Anthony Davis over the offseason. Because Anthony Davis just isn't working out in LA anymore. Anthony Davis is from Chicago. That's just a very possible trade, and it's something that if I'm Rob Pelinka, I'm trying so hard. If I'm Rob Pelinka, I'm trying so hard to make that deal happen. I don't know how you're not trying to make that deal happen if you're Rob Pelinka. You're getting a younger player in Zach LaVine. You're getting, at this point, a guy you can actually rely on in Zach LaVine. Anthony Davis has been the most unreliable player in LA over the past 3 years. And you're getting a better playmaker. You're getting a better offensive threat combined with LeBron James. It's just a better fit in LA. Now let's talk about Russell Westbrook. Everybody that you hear talking about it, whether it's Brian Windhorst, whether it's whoever it is, they're saying, oh, Rob Pelinka's got to figure out a way to trade Russell Westbrook this year. Are we sure Russell Westbrook is even going to be a Laker over this offseason? He has a player option this year. Or not this year, but next year. He's got a player option. Now, it's $47 million. Would he be an idiot for declining $47 million? Well, not really. There's a lot of factors to this. Obviously, this has not been a successful marriage in LA for Russell Westbrook. We had all the glitz and glamour. Oh my God, Russ is coming home. Oh my God, he's playing with LeBron and AD. Oh my God, they're going to do crazy things together. It's been nothing short of a complete failure of a marriage. It's been one of the worst superstar combinations that I've ever seen. The only thing that I can compare it to in sports was when the Philadelphia Eagles tried to build that dream team in what was it? It was 2010 or 2011 when they had 3 quarterbacks. They had Mike Vick, they had Vince Young. I think they still had they had one more guy. I forget who the third quarterback was, but they had everybody you could get their hands on in free agency. They signed Nnamdi Asomugha. That was the worst possible thing that could have happened. They went 5-11 or 6-10, and they were just a terrible team. That's the only thing I can compare this Lakers team to, is that Philadelphia Eagles team that we were calling a dream team back in the day. So back to the point. $47 million. It would be rough to turn that down. But again, Russ has not been happy in LA. It has not been a successful marriage. And it's not been something there's reports around the All-Star break that LeBron James wanted Rob Pelinka to trade a first-round pick with Russell Westbrook for John Wall. And if you're Russell Westbrook, you're like, okay, John Wall hasn't played all season, and you're going to say that he's a better option for the team than I am? It's okay, well, that's not very cool of you, dude. That's not very cool of my teammate. And I think another factor to this is I don't think Russell Westbrook wants to just leave it in the hands of the Lakers to decide where he gets to play next year. I think if Russell Westbrook is smart, which he's a very smart guy, and he's dealt with bullshit in his life. And he knows that this Lakers situation is bullshit. And the only way that there's a cherry on top, a bullshit cherry on top, is if he lets them trade him. I don't think he's just gonna say, "Oh yeah, you guys want to decide where I get to play next year? It has no effect what I think, what I want to do." Yeah, I'm down for that. Like, I don't think Russell Westbrook is gonna play that game. I think it's very possible that he declines that player option next year. Not only do I think it's very possible, I would almost bet money on it. Because he knows it's not working out. He knows that they don't really want him around next year. So why would he let them decide where he has to move his family to, where he has to move to, where he, like, I think he wants the decision in his hands. He doesn't want it in someone else's hands. And that's the biggest piece of this is more, the ball is more in Russell Westbrook's court than it is the Lakers. There's probably going to be a little staring match between them up until that deadline where he has to accept his player option, which I don't know necessarily when that is, but I mean, it's not only is it not out of the realm of possibility, I just think it's almost a guarantee for a guy who, if he does get traded, it'll be his 5th team in 5 years. And I think every single time he's been traded, he got traded to Houston. They said, "No, we don't want you no more." They traded him to Washington. They said, "No, we don't want you no more. We're going to trade you to LA." That's a lot for a guy who has a family, for a guy who has his respect at the top of his, wish list. There's, at least in the terms of what he wants to do, letting the Lakers trade him is not something that he probably wants to do because he's going to get traded somewhere where he probably doesn't want to go. And declining that player option not only gives him the most capabilities, it just resets everything for him. He becomes a free agent for the first time. Russell Westbrook has never been a free agent. So this gives him a chance to actually do what he wants to do. I think a lot of things have been out of his control over the past couple of years, and he has a chance by declining that player option to say, "I'm going to go where I want to go," whether it's wanting to just play basketball, whether it's wanting to win a championship, whether it's going somewhere where I can build my family. He has that option, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. And it helps the Lakers a lot, because if he does decline that player option, not only do they not have to go through the headache of trading him, they don't have to risk, and not only risk, but if you're trading Russell Westbrook, you're going to get a guy around the same price tag who is never going to give you the same sort of capabilities of Russell Westbrook. He still is a walking triple-double. He still is Mr. Triple-Double. Make no mistakes about that. I just think it's in the best interest of him. It's in the best interest of the Lakers. And it's so easy for him to just say, "No, I'm walking away. I'm done with you guys. You're not deciding where I'm playing next year. I'm deciding it." And with that, if Russell Westbrook is gone, and it's he just is poof, gone. And then Anthony Davis gets traded for Zach LaVine. If you're a Lakers fan, aren't you so happy with that situation? Aren't you like, "Oh my God, we just avoided a tornado of hell"? Like, come on. That's an incredible idea, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, again, this all hinges on the fact that Rob Pelinka is probably the worst GM in my lifetime. And I don't care who sees this. I don't care if he sees this. I could do 10 times the job that Rob Pelinka is doing right now in LA. Because, everything that he's done has been so shitty. It's been terrible. And if everything goes the way he needs it to go, which he still has to put in work to try to get Zach LaVine with Anthony Davis, if the miracle of Russell Westbrook declining his player option falls in his lap, he has a chance to rebuild this team into a finals contender. And it's not very hard when you have LeBron James. Make no mistake, it's not very hard to have a championship contender when you have LeBron James. If they get that $47 million in cap space, they're going to go a long way next year. And I would go as far as to say that they will get back to the NBA Finals next year.